All right, welcome to Jack Dotson's Racing Insider News this week. Jack's at the racetrack. I'm stuck still here at work. Special guest there. I'm
here with pizza.
Jack, this is going to be the first time I'm going to say that I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, I've never said it about you, but anyway. There's Papa Slice. He's here with us too.
I know. Is it Mr. Slice or Papa Slice? He's like my new favorite person.
I believe it's Mr. Slice, right?
Oh, I thought somebody told me. Now I got corrected last time. I called him Mr. Slice, and he sat here and told me, "No, that ain't right."
Right? Yeah. But then I seen on TikTok that it was Mr. Slice. I thought.
Oh, okay. Well, here he is. He's here.
Yeah, we definitely got to thank Papa John's of Hampton Roads for bringing us dinner tonight.
And Matt Carter. Woo! Look at that, Matt.
Look how good that is.
Man, I must have ate 6 slices last show.
This one's got autographs in here,
And it's from our friends, Street Stock Modified. Best wishes, Steel Motorsports.
Dang.
I think Steel Motorsports as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Those guys.
But anyway, we're going to eat pizza in a little bit. I'm not going to eat it in front of you right now, Scott, because if I do, that would be wrong. Hey, if Matt wants to eat in front of you, I'm good with it. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait until about halfway through the show, and then I'll start eating.
All right.
Anyway, uh-oh.
Let's see. Pepperoni. I like it.
Oh, it's got the number on it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anybody can see that or not, but it's got a 51 on there.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah. I noticed it when he started pointing out. I could see the number on there.
I did not even notice that. That would be funny.
Yeah,
all right. We appreciate it, Mr.
Yeah,
Mr. Slice, Papa Slice, some Slice. I'm glad you brought that pretty little girl with you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
All right. Well, let's thank our marketing partners. We got to thank NC811, VA811, Call Before You Dig, GAC, Great American Company. As we were talking before the show, Black Acid Apparel. If you want some T-shirts, 1 shirt, 10 shirts, don't be in a hurry for them. Right, guys?
Yeah.
And you can get, it's pretty convenient that you can get 1, 10, or 100. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. Pepsi. Did he get you a drink, Matt?
No,
not yet. But drinks are there in the box right there. Y'all can help yourself to the drink.
Factory Canopies. They give us a nice tablecloth there and some nice chairs to sit in during the show. MPM Marketing. If you need some help with your social media or what some do's and don'ts to do with that, or need some help with that, and whatever else you need, helmets, suits. She's the one that did my suit and designed the whole thing. So really shout out to Tanya McAllister at MPM Marketing. Safety Clean, Performance Plus, Motor Oil. Man, Langley Speedway still having us a place to race at. It was pretty boring there a few years ago when we didn't have them, right, Matt?
That's right.
And then we got Blackwater Station,
which is a division of Bondurant Distillery.
Yeah. So if you want some good barbecue, I'm sure they got barbecue because he's got some good barbecue.
Yeah, he's got barbecue. That's his main thing there.
And then,
all right, let's go ahead with our Smith's Wraps and Graphics Weekend Racing Roundup. Here at Langley Speedway, they did not have a race this weekend. We all got here and sit here, and then the rain came. So that was pretty bad. But I'm gonna tell you what, we saw the storm coming, and we knew it was just a matter of time before it got here. So anyway, this past weekend's winners in the Cup Series, how like that? AJ Allmendinger.
Man, I don't think anybody would argue with that. But what does everybody think about the move between the 14 and the 11? There's people like on both sides of the fence.
You're a driver.
I thought it was okay. I mean, I didn't see it wasn't no big deal. I mean,
I mean, you guys think the guy
race, but I mean, it made it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you think a guy going for his first win, you know he's going to be aggressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for doing that. And when Tony Stewart told him he did everything right, you knew he was right then. So it wasn't a big deal. On Saturday in the Xfinity race, Austin Cindric got the win.
Did you see Bo and Luke Duke?
Who?
Bo and Luke Duke with that jump.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
Man,
those cars came off the ground, man. They even had one in the Cup race.
Yeah.
Up at Chemung Speedway in New York, our buddies, Garrett Zacharias, won the sportsman race on Friday night and then went to Oswego on Saturday to run in the New York Stock Series, the Super Stock Series, and had a bad day. So I won't mention that one, but he did win on Friday night. At Kingsport in the late models, Chase Dixon got the win. At Dixieland Speedway Friday night, John Staten got the Budweiser All-Star win. At Dominion, some cat named Peyton Sellers won both races up there this weekend. I mean, both late model races. I didn't think he would do it. Davey Callahan had a 4th place finish and then kind of spun it out in the second race. At Motor Mile, my buddy Cress Van Dyke got the win. That's another win for Cress. I'm gonna say he's my buddy because he is my buddy.
You're the president of the fan club.
Right much, yeah. And in late model race number 2, Ryan Wilson got the win. It was also announced this week that Josh Berry has now got a full-time Xfinity ride at Junior Motorsports in the number 8 car for next year, and I think that's really great that they put that together and got it straight for him. So
I'm surprised it's taken this long. I mean, I still remember back a few years ago when he had that 3rd place finish at Richmond in his first outing. I thought he should have had a good shot at winning that one. I thought he should have been signed, to a ride at that point.
Well, I heard the comment made from Tristan and a couple of guys that work out there. They said that whatever he steps into under the Xfinity car, he automatically goes to victory lane because he did it here at Langley and he did it the very next weekend in the Cards Tour. So that's a pretty cool deal for him. Also, I see Andrew Full has already said this already, but Virginia Motor Speedway has canceled their race for Saturday because of tire issues. They have run out of tires, and they're not going to be able to hold the prelude to the World Championship up at VMS this weekend. So I think that's a sign of the times. We're getting a whole lot of that here the last little bit.
Okay.
So have you got tires for your car yet, Scott?
I mean, we're on a 1 tire a week, and I think we're going to be on that through the end of the year. I think we have enough to last us through the end of the year. That's about it. And usually we get 2 every 3 races. I wish we were because tires are terrible.
Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you here. And our driver of the week for this week.
The rain?
Huh?
The rain?
Well, that could have been the one, but it's Joseph Pittman from down at Carteret. He won the mini stock challenge race down there at Carteret for his first ever win. So the Scott Allen Mafia voted him in as the driver of the week this week. Because I got messages saying the Mafia is going to do this, so be prepared. And one guy voted for Scott Allen, and I told him he lost his mind.
Who was that? I didn't see that.
I don't know who it was. They voted and said Scott Allen. I come back and said, really? Scott Allen? You're not even eligible. So anyway, Joseph Pittman, I'm going to try to get Joseph on here in the next couple of weeks and get him on the show. So that's where we are with that. He figured Cress would. I hear him talking. Well, he said not Carteret. It's at Goodyear Speedway. That's where that was at, the Goodyear. So, okay. Right.
And somebody's always got to correct you every week, Jack.
If it wasn't for Robert Hibby and Mason Dunn, we have no show because they have to keep everything going, making sure we're saying the right thing. And when you mispronounce people's names, nobody said a damn thing.
Because they know they can't help it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we got Matt Carter here from the modified division here at Langley Speedway. How many wins you got this year, Matt?
This year we've got 8 wins.
8 wins.
8 wins out of the 10 races.
You're on a 4 straight skid right now, or did you?
No. I think Godovic broke that up 3 races ago.
Okay.
Now, how cool was it to see Rick finally win?
Well, it was awesome. I was happy. I was glad to see him win one. I mean, he's done so much for this division, so much for a lot of us out here, and to see him win was pretty amazing.
Now, when did you realize that you probably weren't going to catch him?
Well, I got caught up in a wreck because I had to start in the rear field, and I got up. Well, I got involved in a wreck, and the car just got really, really tight. But once I moved to second, I felt like I was gaining on him a little bit, but he was wheeling it, and he was hitting his marks, and I kept on overdriving the car, and I was starting to burn my tires up, so I kind of just had to ease back a little bit.
Isn't it amazing to hear somebody say Rick was hitting his marks after all we've heard about Rick?
He was doing a great job. He was pretty impressive, to be honest with you.
I think we were all happy to see him, to win.
Oh yeah.
What it was like 17 years or something.
We had a competition in the modified series. There seems to be a good competition, but there always seems to be that one guy that has it dialed in right and does well.
Well, I mean, these cars are very tricky. I mean, you got a high horsepower or a lot of horsepower with a little small 8-inch tire, and it's just, I mean, it's a driver's division, and I mean, of course, it's a lot of car too, but it's a lot about getting your car to turn really well and getting that forward drive and getting it to stick and just carrying a lot of speed down the straightaway.
I think you've got it pretty much dialed in now.
Well, I mean, it's taken me a lot of years to get these things figured out,
Now, who drives your other car?
Paul DeBolt.
Okay, so he's been around for a while.
Yeah, Paul's been a mentor to me. I was helping him back in the late model days. I mean, that's where I basically learned everything from.
So you basically been around here for a long time, a lot of years, and everything here at Langley Speedway.
Yes, sir.
So you've seen a lot of changes, a lot of things going on.
I have.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, I'm going to go ahead and do my presentation now, if you don't mind.
Make sure you hold it the right way.
All right. Matt Carter, last month, in the month of July, was the Jack Dodson, North Carolina 811 Driver of the Month.
Awesome.
Congratulations. That's for
Thank
you.
you. I certainly appreciate that.
And these are for you, the book and the sticker.
Awesome. Thank you.
So that's for you. And
Awesome. Well, I'm certainly.
I told you we had something for you.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely not expecting. I mean, I don't think I've even won Driver of the Week, and to win Driver of the
Well,
Month.
I mean, you were on a tear there for a while.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So we were, it wasn't a hard thing to determine who was going to get it. So.
Right.
You got to get a bigger fan club, apparently, Matt.
I guess so.
Hey,
well, I used to have one, but it seems like the more that you win, the more that people don't like you.
Well, Scott ain't got no problem at all.
I feel so bad for you, Matt.
But it's all good.
Scott ain't got no worries in the world. Everybody's gonna love you because you Scott Allen. So we were talking earlier. You said the points and everything, the regional points and everything, is something that you were shooting for to start with, but now it seems like with all the rain and everything going on.
Yeah, well, from the very get-go, before the season started, we wanted to run Dominion and Langley. We wanted to run for a national title. And at the last minute, Dominion changed some rules, which our car is pretty much can't run at Dominion unless we change some stuff. So we decided just to pretty much focus on Langley. And, about halfway through the season, we realized that, we were in the running to be at least, run top 5 in national points. And for a little while there, we were second in regional, but since the last rain out, and I think we've had 2 rainouts this year, and they take the top 14 starts for national points in Division II. So I don't know where it's going to end up. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to run twins this weekend, and I think the national points end the second week of September. So as long as we get 14 starts in, I mean, we should do pretty well.
So hopefully
we'll see how it goes.
Now, as we were talking about earlier about the tire situation, Shannon was talking about they don't have any tires. Mm-hmm. How has it affected you this year? Has it done anything?
Not really. I mean, it's as far as practice tires, we can't buy any practice tires. But as far as racing wise, we've still been able to maintain our normal buy 2 tires per race.
So do you, with not being able to buy practice tires, do you really cut back on how much practice time you run?
We do. I mean, especially if your car is pretty much dialed in pretty good. I mean, I try to go out there and run maybe 5 laps, and that's it. Just to make sure we don't have any major issues. But I mean, you at this time, I mean, you got to, because I mean, if you're going to go out there and practice on old, worn out tires all the time, and then you go and throw 2 new ones on there, you don't know what you're going to have, and you don't want to dial yourself out.
You like this modified series, and I mean, it's known that you do, and we've talked about it before on the show, but have you ever thought about going to another division to race, like the late models?
I have, and we're kind of up in the air what we want to do next year. If I was to do something different, I think I want to go pro late model racing. I want to travel around a little bit, and it's definitely going to be something different, and it's going to, require a lot more money and traveling. But if I was to do it, I'm really interested in the Carolina Pro Late Model division. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, the Carolina Pro Late Model.
But they run, I think it's about 5 or 6 different divisions in Carolina. They do run Franklin County, which is in Virginia. I think Pro Late Model racing is where it's at. I think there's a lot of competitive racing. It looks interesting.
Yeah, we got a buddy that runs that series, Leland Honeyman. That's the series.
Yeah,
he runs in that series. And, so he's having a pretty decent year.
Yeah, I think he's moved up to second points.
Yeah, so he's having a good year. But that is a lot of fun to be able to go around and do different places to race.
Yeah.
So have you raced any other places other than Langley?
Southern National. That's the only other track we've been to.
Wow.
Which of course we wanted to run Dominion, and we still can, but it's with having to change your car around.
But you don't want to mess with the car once you got something going on.
Right.
You don't want to mess that up.
Well, the backup car, that was kind of our plan to change that one over a little bit, but at first I was disappointed and didn't feel like I even wanted to change my stuff to go run in a different division, because you would think that the 2 tracks would work together and their rules would be in line with each other, but for some reason they chose to change the rules up a little bit. So
now you guys run the IMCA type modifieds compared to what the Touring Series modified. Right. Have you ever thought about trying the Touring Series modifieds?
I mean, yeah, if I ever had the opportunity, I'd drive one of them things.
I mean, the what is it, the Smart Series? They were just at Bowman Gray the other week. I don't know if they raced. I think it rained out.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, that would be a cool division.
Yeah, that looks fun too. I mean, the ultimate goal would be to run, late model stock car, but for me, I find it looks to me, I think the pro late model produced better racing than the late model stocks.
The late model stocks, the expenses is so bad.
It is.
The late model stock cars now. I mean, I don't know what it takes to run a modified, but the late model stock cars are really expensive.
It is.
To hear him talk about that, and then after you have a guy like Rick Godot, he's got one of both, and this,
right.
But anyway, I mean that's a good deal. Now, who all helps you with your car?
Well, I keep all my stuff over at Paul Bolts. I mean, he's pretty much my main help. And Randy Sears, Sears Sand and Gravel, and we're partners in this car that we have. I mean, he's the majority of the owner, but he's basically given me everything that I need to get the job done, and I think we've done okay.
Oh, you've done really good with it, so you got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But I would like to see you, try some other stuff here.
I would, like I said, if there's other opportunities that come around or pop up, I'd definitely be interested in doing something a little bit different.
Now, what do you do for a living?
I am the glass paint machining supervisor at Lee Bear Mining Equipment.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow. He's a lot smarter than we are, Scott. I mean,
that goes without saying.
he's got him big time job.
Mhm.
So that's cool. I mean, you get a chance to come out here, and I know you got a family and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a wife and daughter, and they're big supporters. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. I mean, they, as a racer, the amount of time and the money we spend to do this.
Well, it's good that they're involved. They want to be in, and they back you and they support you in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the great thing about it.
Yeah.
And it's like Scott has said before, this is a family racetrack in a lot of ways. Everybody helps everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they'll fight if they have to.
That's true.
But they all get along and they help each other as best they can. And look at Shannon. He got what? He said he had like 5 cars out here.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 trucks. So, I mean, that's cool. And Doug,
I got to ask, and this might be a little bit of a tough question. So, we lost Sean last year, and now you're kind of that guy. But I would imagine he's the one that probably drove you, the last couple of years to try to beat. And it's sad that he's not here. It's got to be a kind of a void in it because you don't have that guy to sort of chase and try to beat.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think about that all the time. I mean, now that that we're pretty successful, this year. I've always wondered what it would be like with him out here. And I spent many years behind him, chasing him, and I learned so much by being behind him. I mean, I think that's part of the reason that I am where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I wish he was still here and we could, we had that rivalry going still, and and mess with each other on Facebook all the time. I mean, that was a lot of fun.
Well, it came up on my memories the other day where you had the mouse trap on the front nose of the car. Man, I've loved that stuff between y'all.
Yeah, it definitely made it fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, and it is sad that we don't have him around anymore.
Absolutely.
And because I was, and like y'all said, y'all thought about it, and I thought about it a couple times too. That man, what kind of racing will we have? You two guys are
I think it would be good. It would be good. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I just think about, you and him sort of duking it out because you're kind of at your best right now, it seems like. And I think how gratifying that would have been to beat him some, and both of you have to earn it, and how much fun it was a different rivalry between you guys than it was between Robbie Babb and him. There was sort of bad blood, even though it was great to watch those guys race each other, and they raced each other hard and clean.
Yeah.
But they didn't like each other very much.
Well, I mean, that's what racing needs. I mean, it keeps people involved, and it keeps people see it on social media, and it makes them want to come out here and watch it, see what it's all about.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be like that in some of the divisions here the rest of the year. There's going to be some going on with back and forth, but you pretty much, in the modifieds. I mean, you got some guys that could still beat you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's never a week that I go in here saying that, I'm gonna win this race. I mean, these guys they're working hard, and it's just like, people will win for a little while, but there's always going to be somebody that's going to catch them. I mean, it's just you keep on working, and you're going to eventually find.
Like Rick Godovic, he caught lightning in a bottle that night.
I don't know. Rick's been pretty fast. I mean, he's pretty close. He's getting pretty close.
He is.
Well, Matt says he ain't going to let him get no closer.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to catch me, but he's gonna have a hard time getting by me.
Yeah.
So now, who are your sponsors? And really, give your sponsors a shout out before.
Sears Sand and Gravel, Extra Storage, Adams Flooring, State Farm agent Dayton Weiss, Paint Supply Company, Port City Race Cars, Snap Mobile. Did I say Paint Supply Company?
Yeah.
Okay, and Smith's Wraps
and
Graphics. He won't want to say swag because I think that was the old name.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Well,
Congratulations
I
on it.
Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot for being a part. Thanks for the pizza tonight. We really appreciate it. And,
Papa John's.
Oh yeah, he got all and forgot Papa John, and he's sitting right here in front of him. That's not pretty good. But anyway, well, we appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I've been trying to get you on the show for a while, but you've got a lot going on too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So anyway, but thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, let's get Shannon over here and he's never been on one of these shows before, Scott, so we need to rake him over to Cole's Good.
Well, he'll soon learn it's not that big a deal. What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good.
You probably know Scott. Don't you?
Yeah, I've seen him a time or two.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He doesn't acknowledge me, so I don't know if he really knows who I am or not, Jack.
He doesn't acknowledge you? There's a lot of people that don't acknowledge you. A lot of people see you coming. They don't, they go the other way.
That's because I talk too damn much, mostly.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Well, Shannon, what was it like, man, to win that first race? I'm still waiting to win my first Pro 6 race, so I can't imagine what that feeling was like for you.
Well, it didn't sink into the next day, really, but it was great. I mean, I raced in this division out here starting in '99 for 2 or 3 years before I moved back to the other end of the state, and come back out here 3 years ago and been at it ever since. So I run a lot of races out here, a couple up at Coburn in a truck, but I don't know, it's great. It's a good feeling. It's fun.
Go ahead.
So what was it like the last few laps? What was going through your mind? Did you realize this was going to be it?
Well, I was kind of waiting for the bump and the dive under, but that's like I said in Victory Lane, I was going to block with everything in me, whether it meant I wrecked or not. But our tires are so wore out on these trucks, where there's the top heavy and everything, the way they're made. That we have a hard time coming off these turns right now, and Ryan, he likes to get on it early to try to get under you coming off the turns, and he just kept breaking loose, and I was just able to pull on him coming off the turns.
Yeah, you would really pull him on turn 2.
Yeah.
And then he'd close it back up in 3 or 4, and then you'd gap him there. I mean, it was super fun to watch. Man, I think everybody was pulling for you there to see you win there at the end.
I know 3 or 4 of us were sitting up here. I don't know if you were down there, but we were sitting up here. And I know when he took the white flag and took off down there, I think everybody up here stood up. Even the officials, everybody was standing here watching this to see what happened. I mean, I think they all had a feeling that somebody might get taken out before this was over with, but that didn't work out that way. He gone on and got the win, so I thought it was a big deal.
Hey, I see how small Ryan is. He ain't about yay big around. I don't think he wants to mess with Shannon.
No, Ryan's a real good driver. He ain't going to deliberately take nobody out. I mean, these trucks get down in these turns. When you get them a little bit loose, you can't control them. You can't help sliding into somebody else.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna say deliberate, but I raced with him some too in the Pro 6.
I was getting ready to say, he said he ain't going deliberately, but I tell you what, I think there was a couple little bumps in there between you and him that may have felt that way. So anyway, all right, well, we got something for Shannon too. We didn't. Shannon Lester, after you won the race, you were voted driver of the week for the week that you won the race. Yeah. And congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And also you get a little gift bag from 811 too. So.
All right. Thank you.
So he gets his win, and now he gets to be driver of the week.
Man, he's big time now.
God, you'll never be driver of the week again. So
So Shannon, what's been the big difference in your truck this year? Because I can tell it seems like you picked up the pace there some at the end of the year last year, and this year you've been pretty close to those guys.
Well, that's a different truck from what I've been running the past couple of years. I had been in an S10. This is a full Toyota, and that's what I'd raced back in the old days. I know them a little better. And
A Ford Toyota.
Huh?
What did you call it?
Toyota.
Oh, I thought
you say Ford. Yeah.
No, I don't like that little F word. That's every time I put a Ford motor in something here at this racetrack, they pick parts of motor up out on the back street. You can't do that. But I build all my own over in my garage in Gloucester. I'll have to send off a machine shop. But we do everything over there. All of us in this division. I've had help from everybody. Fred and Chase, Tommy Nixon. I mean, Wayne Lyon's been over. I've helped him. He's helped me. I've given parts, pieces. 28 truck that Ronald Klein run. I built for him last year when he come out and won the first race. I think I got 5 more out here. I've been basically built, helped, done something to, or whatever.
What made you pick the truck series to be the one thing you?
I've always been more of a fan of the 4-cylinders. I don't know. It seems to me like it's more of a challenge to get the power out of them that we get out of them. The V8, you can buy all these pieces and parts everywhere. I just always liked more of the 4-cylinder mini stock divisions. When I worked as a security guard at Lonesome Pine back in the mid-90s. And that division just always caught my eye back there. David Brown and a few of them guys that run back there.
And those guys that run those mod Fords and those other Fords that they have pure Fords and everything between all those places. I mean, that's some good racing. And the car count is really good for those races too.
It is. And like back in the 90s and early 2000s when this truck division first got going, we'd have 20, 25 trucks out here. And we've got 20 people in the points in the trucks this year. It's just, people don't have the money to come out and run all the time. And parts are so expensive and hard to come by right now.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask you. I mean, they have to be with the truck back in the day and everything that you come along with. It has to be hard somewhere along the line to keep getting parts that you need. And
well, like right now, we can't go to a body shop and get a body part. Period. We can go to a junkyard and look up and find some. Sometimes that's why most of these trucks look so beat up. We can't get body parts. You
can't make your own?
Well, we can, but it wouldn't look right to put a sheet metal bedside on one side of the truck. You'd have to have the time to break down and build a whole complete body to make it look right.
Yeah.
So we just been taking, I took a torch and cut half a bed off mine, beat it out with a hammer and welded it back just to get it back together. Jeez. Best I could.
Well, I mean, you got to like them. I used to race for some, and I love them too. But towards the time
Shannon is successful at it, though, Jack.
See, now there you go, getting in the middle of something you're not even involved in here. We're talking.
That's part of my problem.
But I was getting to the point where parts for what I was racing a Monza back in the days in a mini stock class. And getting parts was really getting me a job. I mean, you had to spend time looking for parts before you could really fix it. And it's worth that point now.
What you probably run was those Iron Duke motors back then. You couldn't buy one of them pieces right now.
No, not at all.
$5,000 for a crankshaft for one of those motors.
Good.
I mean, that's why there's none out here. There's some kind of a midget class that run those Iron Duke motors. And they bought up everything. Those cars was running those, and you can't find them anymore. And if you do, they cost more than what a motor for a late model would cost. Because people know that's the only thing they got. That's the only one you're going to find.
Yeah, because it was my brother was going through that with his Mustang. He was having a problem with his, getting certain parts for certain, to do certain things with. And that was tough back then. Have you ever tried the mini stock class?
Yeah, I've got 2 mini stocks back home, but to run at Lonesome Pine. But there's nowhere up here that I can run mini stock.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting under tarps. back home.
I think they run. How much difference do you think it would be? Now, so this is where I ran into a problem, but how much difference it would be for you to take one of those cars and go to like a Dixieland and run in a 4-cylinder division down there?
Well, my problem running down there would be the distance. I live in the northern end of Gloucester.
Oh yeah,
That's a long trip.
that's true. But yeah, that's the tough thing. You don't have that. You don't have those mini stocks here. I think the trucks are probably as close as you're gonna get to a mini stock in this area, regardless.
Well, I mean, back at Lonesome Pine, so I run my truck back in 2001, 2002. I run my truck with the Mod 4s at Lonesome Pine.
Wow, I bet that was fun too.
It is.
We had a race at Southampton one time where we put the modified 4s in the same race with the Pro 4s. You had 2 winners at the end of the race, right? And that was embarrassing. I came home second in the regular mini stock class, but them modifieds, they were all over us. So then they just started that we ain't gonna do that no more. Then they kind of did away with that. And,
Was that your best finish ever?
I had about 4 or 5 second places. Yeah, I never won. So I know that's where you're headed. Okay, I never won a race. And then when it went asphalt, Robbie Parker and that bunch of bums from Langley came down there and just embarrassed us all.
Well, I was wondering. He said you raced, and Robbie was like, "Raced?" ? Raced.
Well,
I think he was thinking it was a parade.
It was a parade, all right. All the Langley guys were parading right on around us Southampton guys. I mean, they brought them Langley drivers down to Southampton and their 4-cylinders that they had, and they came. I think it was to see if there's some way they could get it together, get everybody together. See, we didn't run the same type of 4-cylinder these guys did here at Langley, and they come in and they dogged us. I mean, it was.
Shannon, don't let him look. Robbie lapped him twice in one lap.
That is not true. That is not true at all. That's a lie, and I'll stand by to the day I die. That was a lie.
Well, to the day you die, I'm still gonna tell it.
And Rick Powell said Wayne and I ran with the mini stocks at East Carolina, and that was pretty cool. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see more of the mini stocks come along. I would love to see it. I'd love to see a couple mini stock races out here, as long as Robbie Parker wasn't involved.
Now, Shannon, do you ever see yourself moving to another division?
Not really. I just like 4-cylinders. I mean, if I could put a 4-cylinder in a bigger car, yeah. But I don't want to get away from my 4-cylinders. I just like them so well. I've just never had no desire to get in a bigger car.
Now, is your knack? You just love tinkering with the motors? Is that kind of like your thing?
It is. I get as much enjoyment out of working on everybody else's trucks out in pits as I do driving. I went to that diesel college in Nashville. I graduated there in 1990. Same one Waddell Wilson went to and stuff. And that's what I wanted to do when I started out. Because being in Buchanan County, where I'm from, right the county over from Morgan McClure, and that's where I tried to always get to, but never really got my foot in the door there. But
don't take this wrong, but we can tell you from that part of the country a little bit.
Little bit back.
But I'm originally from. I don't know if you know where McDowell County, West Virginia is.
Right across the line.
That's where I was born and raised, in McDowell County. Yeah. And I used to hang all through those areas back there when I was little.
I'm from a little town called Hurley.
Oh yeah, I know where Hurley is.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah, okay. All right, see, he's gonna be a new one of my favorites here. I didn't know he's from out that way.
Until he starts laughing at the jokes on you.
Well, you do enough of that. I'm used to that by now. But anyway, tell us a little bit about who all sponsors you and who all helps you with your car.
Rod Busters over on Warwick, rebar and foundation tunnels and all that. They do all that steel fab for the concrete stuff. It's really the only sponsor I have. I put Sarah Langley on the truck, because she does so much for all these divisions, taking pictures.
Yeah.
Never asked for anything from anybody. We didn't even tell her we was going to do it, and it kind of just, she seen it on the truck one day. Me and the 10 truck of Kevin Rickman both done it at the same time, and stuck her name on there. But we just do it all ourselves. I mean, both my daughters help me work on my truck. My oldest is in school in Lynchburg. She does when she can. My youngest daughter, I drag her out there all hours of the day and night. She kind of gets a little aggravated with me sometimes, but my wife helps. And when I need something big, like Fred and Chase will come. Tim Carter with the 01 truck, he'll come over. Some other guys, Eric Buckley. That truck I'm driving right now was Eric's truck from when this division first started. And ended up getting it. So that truck's been around for a long, long time. Eric normally always spots me when he can get here. Jimmy and Ryan. I mean, everybody in this division, if any of us need help, we holler at each other. Rick's helped us. Wayne's helped.
That's cool.
Marty Strickland, everybody. You need something, you ask.
Well, when you talk about Rick Powson, now, last year at the end of the year, he ran that big motor at the end of the year.
Rick's gonna kill you one day.
I hope he's watching. I hope he's still watching.
Everybody runs a big motor at the end of the year.
He come on the show one night when we was over here, and he was making some comment about how everybody was talking about, hey, he had a big motor. Yeah. I said, I don't believe that. He said, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. We started the show. That was the first thing I said. Yeah, boy, they let him have it after that.
And we always aggravate everybody that's doing good up front and stuff about a big motor. That's just a joke that goes around.
I mean, you got some good people in that class with Louis Pastoritz and everybody running that class. To me, those guys are.
Rick said, "Gloves off, old man."
I knew he was still watching. Anyway, well, Shannon, we appreciate you being with us tonight. Thanks a lot, and you and Matt, both of you, glad you could be out here. I'm really excited to have both of you. And congratulations on that win. Let's go get some more.
Yeah, I hope to,
and maybe get a championship too.
I'm 5 points out of the point lead right now. Ryan's
Okay.
All right. Well, maybe Scott will wreck him in his Pro 6 and he won't be able to come out here one night with us. Anyway. All right, but thank you anyway. We appreciate it. And I see that we now have Ryleigh Lemonds in the waiting area there, waiting to come on. Shannon, they got you listed as Man of the Year.
Got me what?
They said you are the Man of the Year.
What's that mean?
I don't know. That's what Rick Powell said. You're the Man of the Year. There's Ryleigh Lemonds. How you doing, Ryleigh?
Good. How are y'all?
We're doing good. Now, I heard about you through the article in the paper and everything, and I saw you out here at the racetrack on Hampton Heat weekend.
Yes.
And and I said I was going to try to talk to you then, but I never got close enough to say anything. But and now you're down at Joe Gibbs Racing. I know that's really cool to be down there doing that.
Yes, it's so much fun. So it's just a 10-week internship. So next week's my last week with JGR, unfortunately, but it's okay. So I just literally TikTok all day. That's all I do.
So what kind of things have you learned from Joe from the organization? I mean, it's got to be a ton because this is, what they do.
Oh gosh, what have I learned? I've learned a lot of stuff just from being around the shop. I've met so many new people. I've gotten close with a lot of people around there, and it's just like very well rounded. There, everybody's nice there. It's just an amazing place to be at for sure.
It has to be when you got some of the great guys in racing down there and that you're working around and being a part of, and I know it's really big. So tell us, you say you work on TikTok all day, but tell us what all you do as the media in here.
TikTok that's it. I just TikTok. I we have different TikToks for each department in the shop. So I have We do the aviation, so I'll go to the hangar sometimes and I'll film there. We do welding. We do our CNC department, which is actually really cool. It has like all these different machines that like literally make all the parts that go into our race cars. I do the pit crew and the stickers. I think that's all. There's a lot.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty big deal that you got going on there. Now, are you living in Charlotte?
So I'm actually in Kannapolis. It's about like, I would say probably I'm like 25 minutes away from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. So I'm about 30 minutes from work, which is
Yeah. My son lived in Kannapolis for a long time too, and now he's over in Mooresville now. So
yeah. So I don't really know. I'm not like good with like geographic stuff, but I think Mooresville's like north of me, where I'm at right now, I think.
no, it's kind of like southeast from me.
Just let her go with it.
I just know I have to go straight to get there.
So don't go out there and go looking for it and get lost.
No, not at all.
So Ryleigh, what's your goal? So what do you want to do now, or what's your plans after next week?
So I don't really have a plan yet. I'm just gonna go and like see whatever door opens for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I really do like social media. Like ever since like I got the internship out at Langley, and I did their social media last year and for this year, and I'll still come back on the weekends when I can and do social media. So really, I just love social media. I love to post stuff and just make content for like people to watch.
Can you make a class up for like, when they have like social media for dummies? I mean, Jack needs all the help he can get. He needs like a crash course of something.
I'm not going to get in this conversation because I see what's going on here.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Ryleigh, Riley's not going to follow into your talk. That's all it is to it. She's not going to do that. But what I thought was really cool from the article was that you and the other girl, I can't think of her name right off the top of my head now, that you all come from the same school and you're down there working in the racing business down there, and that's got to be fun for you too.
Yes, it's nice to have somebody back, like nice to have somebody here that I have back at home that I knew from back at home, and she was close with my family and stuff, and it just makes me, I don't know, feel more at peace, I guess, being here, knowing that I know people down here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do know a lot of people that I used to race with that they still live down here. My old crew chief lives down here, so I'm at his shop every day. And it's just nice to be down here with people that I know, and I'm not just being thrown out here and like, oh, you're going to have to make friends. Sorry.
Well, think about it. That a lot of people come from Langley Speedway that have gone on into the higher reaches of NASCAR and done things. And you probably know these people and there's contacts for you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like really only close with Lindsay, and Caitlin Vinci. She was doing stuff out at Langley Speedway. I've talked to her a few times, about stuff, which is really cool. I like her a lot. So there's a lot of people that come from Langley and Virginia to come down here doing what they want, like what they love. So,
I mean, that's what they do. A lot of them just they cut their teeth here and go down there and live out their dream. And so, I guess that's your dream. You would like to stay down there and be a part of that.
Absolutely. Everybody's like, "Are you coming home after your internship?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to go to school down here for motorsports management. So I'm going to school starting in 2 weeks, and I'm going to stay down here and see where the road takes me, I guess."
So will this be your first year in college?
Yeah, I graduated from high school on a Monday, and then that Wednesday I left and I moved down here, and then I started at JGR the following Monday. So exactly a week after I graduated, I was starting at JGR. So I've been down here.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird that it worked out for you like that. It did for my son too. He went down and started running around through the shops and everything down there. And before we got home, he got a call and said they wanted him to come back and come to work. So yeah. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, that's great that it worked out for you like that.
Yeah, I just applied for this on a whim. Like I was just sitting at home with my parents and I was like literally scrolling through TikTok and it's like, hey, do you want to have a summer internship? So I was like, heck yeah. So I applied and then I got an email saying that they wanted to have an interview with me. So I'm like, oh gosh, like an interview? I didn't think I'd make it this far. And then I got an email the next day saying, hey, we want you. Can you come? So I was like, okay. So I had like, I think probably less than a month to find a place to live down here and just pack up all my stuff and leave.
Well, at least you had a month to do it, because when my son went down there, we interviewed around. He went around, talked to everybody. We started home back to Virginia, and they called him on the phone and said they wanted him back. I had to turn around and go back to Charlotte and find him a place to live, because this was like on a Thursday. He went to work on Monday.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find a place that fast down there like that.
Yeah. It all happened so fast, but it worked out great. Like I wouldn't change it for anything.
All right, now I'm going to ask you a big question. This is going to be one that this I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but I will try to ask this question.
Okay.
Out of all the drivers down at JGR, who is one of your favorites? Who is your favorite, maybe? Let's put it that way.
Oh, who's my favorite driver? Definitely Kevin Harvick. My all-time favorite driver is Kevin Harvick.
Okay, well, now he's not at JGR. I said at JGR.
I know.
Still her favorite, Jack.
I know. But I'm talking about at JGR. That's what I should have said, maybe.
Oh, gosh. I don't really have I like all of them like a lot. They're really cool, but I don't know. Ever since Denny Hamlin did that Flying 11 scheme, and I know a lot of people don't like Denny Hamlin right now, but ever since he did that Flying 11 scheme, like for the throwback race, it just kind of stuck, and I like it a lot. Because
why would they not like Denny Hamlin right now? What's going on with Denny? I mean,
the race at Indy this week.
I know. I know what to do. I know what you were hitting at. I was just trying to. So you believe he got taken out too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any comment.
You've already said yeah. Then you should have a comment.
Oh my gosh, she backed that up real quick. I don't think there's no right or wrong, Ryleigh.
So what was it like around there yesterday when y'all came back to work? Or
well, so we're normally really quiet Monday and Tuesday, because people are still traveling and like stuff like that. So tomorrow's the day that I'm gonna see a lot of like people from the track and stuff. We've had a lot of like quiet time around the shop these past 2 days.
well, don't go rub it in on Denny that he got wrecked, because he might not like that. I understand he's really hitting.
Any of the drivers except for Ty. I see Ty quite a few, but I haven't seen any of the other drivers.
You haven't seen none of the other ones? They don't come around much?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I mean, Kyle Busch did buy all of us lunch one day, which was really nice. He did do that.
Oh, he must have been in a really good mood.
He wasn't there.
That's the least he could do is buy y'all lunch.
So
and with Ty winning all the races, it looked like he could buy you some lunch too. Do y'all have a get together when they win a race, and it's like a company, everybody get together and
we do like a banner hanging ceremony in like the shop part where they work on all the cars and stuff. So we do that. Like the decal shop makes like a big poster or banner thing. We hang that up together, which is really cool.
Now, have you sat down and talked any with like Joe Gibbs and Steve D'Souza? I know they're the big wigs down there.
Oh gosh, I lost y'all.
We're still here.
Okay, you can still see me?
Yeah,
Glitched out. So I see Joe a lot walking through and stuff, because his office is like kind of right near mine. So I'll see him and we'll stop and like say hey or whatever, but I have never really had a sit down conversation with them yet.
Now, will you apply for a job with JGR, or are you going to go out and look at what you know?
I really need to like start with school coming up. I just really need to focus on that first, and then eventually see where I can go. I don't know because COVID's coming back and whatever, so I don't really know how that's going to work, if they're going to be accepting people and stuff.
So speaking of the COVID coming back, are they putting any restrictions on you and y'all guys in the shop there? I mean,
we do have to wear masks inside, but when I go out to the pit crew practice and stuff, I don't have to wear a mask. And like, if you're not vaccinated, you have to get tested if you travel to the tracks every weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, Ryleigh, we appreciate you.
I was going to ask, Jack.
Okay.
How has COVID changed how you do social media?
Well, when I came in, it was kind of like we don't really have many restrictions. So I was never put on like lockdown, like you can't go here, you can't go here. Like some like things were blocked off and stuff, but nothing has really affected like my job. I don't know if it's affected anybody else's there, but I haven't really been affected by it at all, which is nice.
Yeah. And how many people? Obviously, your last name goes a long way, especially with Langley Speedway. You know, your grandfather's Victory Lane is named after him, and obviously he lost his life there. I'm sure that probably, I would imagine that people in racing in general know Langley Speedway and know the story. How many people do you run into that mention that, or like?
I don't think anybody has really ever recognized me, like by saying my last name or whatever.
You didn't tell them who your dad was then?
No.
It's the first rule.
Watching. I'm just kidding. But no, I don't think really is like anybody has ever really seen my last name and be like, hey, you're from Langley. No, but people do mention, like, ask where I'm from and stuff, and I do tell them like where I'm from and that I'm like 15 minutes from Langley, and they're like, oh yeah, I know that place. But nothing has ever really been said about my granddad or anything while I'm there, and I don't think it just hasn't been mentioned or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Ryleigh, we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. Thank you so very much for your time and being a part of our show. And if we can help you in anything you're going through, whatever we can help, we'll be glad to help you out. And hopefully we'll see you sometime when we come down around Charlotte. Maybe we'll run into you down there somewhere.
And I'll be at Langley this weekend if anybody's going. I'll be there.
Well, okay, you're going to be at Langley this weekend. Well, hopefully we are going to be here this weekend because they say it's going to rain.
Oh, not again. Gosh.
I know, right?
Yeah. But Matt's already over here doing, he's doing everything he can do to keep it from raining. So we're going to see what happens. But thank you, Ryleigh. Appreciate you, and we appreciate everything else. And we'll talk to you. And we'll talk to you again real soon.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, Ryleigh. I look forward to that dummies for social media for Jack.
I'll start working on that right now.
You
But
don't listen to him.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
What do you mean, Jack?
He ain't gonna listen to you. Anyway, well, that was a great show. I'm glad we had got Matt in here, and we had Shannon come over here. That's really cool. Too bad you couldn't be here, but that's your loss.
I know, man. I bet that pizza's good.
I'm getting ready to find out right now in just a minute. But anyway, so that's our show for tonight. Great show. Appreciate Shannon for being here. Appreciate Matt for coming over. It's really great to have Matt here and Shannon and Ryleigh. I thought that was really cool to get her on here and let her talk about her experiences down there. But I didn't know she was getting close to, being finished there. Oh, some girl, Christy Lester said Scott and Jack, we would love to have some more sponsors come on board. So if there's anyone interested in supporting a small town team with a great guy as a driver, we'd love to have them. She's speaking up for you.
Yeah, she always does.
I was going to say, who's the great guy?
I'd rather that one.
I wasn't going there because I'm here with them, so don't do that. Anyway, all right, that's
Thanks,
our
man.
show for tonight. Please like and share our show. It was a lot of fun. Also, next week, Brandon Brown, the Xfinity driver, is going to be with us. Jesse Jones, I'm going to have to get the bleep machine out when he comes. and possibly Shane Laws is going to be with us to talk about Martinsville.
Okay, I seen he was posting some stuff earlier about Martinsville. Hey, you think when Brandon Brown comes on that maybe on that next video where he's looking for a sponsor and they're stretched out on the hood or in the back of the car, if you could do one like that?
I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get in this conversation with you. Don't you have some work to do or something, man?
I do, but this is a lot funner than that.
All right. Well, anyway, that's our show for this week. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. I give one shout out. I seen Clayton Fry come up here and said, "Great show." Ain't seen our buddy in a long time. Say hi to Clayton. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.